Continue to follow breaking news out of Winston-Salem, that's Forsyth County, that is in the Piedmont area, where a stabbing, according to the Sheriff's Office, Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, confirming a stabbing at North Forsyth High School. EMS, we actually saw EMS vehicle ambulance leave the school.
You may have pulled around front, maybe. I see another ambulance here right in front of the school.
But there is obviously police presence there. Let's go to our content partners there at WFMY. They are closely following the story. This is their coverage area. Let's take a listen in.
Arrive for the day. We know as of last year, the district implemented metal detectors. It is unclear if those detectors were on, given the delayed start. I don't know why they would not be, but we are asking those questions. We have not heard much from the school district. I've been scouring social media, seeing if there is an official update or a statement, which we were told we would be receiving from the school district, and that has not yet happened. Also working to learn what kind of messaging parents are receiving. There is a staging area set up for parents. We've been giving you that address, and we will give it to you again throughout our coverage today. That is where you need to go, not to the school. The school, as you've heard Amber describe, is a very active scene right now. There does not appear to be this sense of urgency as though law enforcement is looking for a suspect. No helicopters flying overhead. We don't see anyone running to and from the scene. So it appears, based on our observations, the situation looks contained. That was that staging area, that 475 Corporate Square Drive, which is the administrative building.
The administrative center, central office. Once again, we're still working to confirm a lot of information. What we can tell you is the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office is saying a stabbing happened at North Forsyth High School. We're still trying to figure out how many people were involved, who exactly was stabbed, the extent of the injuries, and working to find out if this happened inside of the building or outside of the building, because we have seen that large police presence and law enforcement presence outside of the building. Earlier in our live pictures, we did see some students that walked out of the school, and some of them even walked into the parking lot area where law enforcement was, but there wasn't this sense of urgency. Our reporter Amber Lake on scene did tell us that she did witness some parents that were collapsing, very emotional, out towards the front entrance of the school. But again, for any parents or family members that are watching, we are being told that parents are to go to 475 Corporate Square Drive. We are working to find out when you might be able to get in contact with your student or when your student may arrive, but this is where parents are being sent at this time. If we could go ahead and take another live picture at the scene. We do have our crew member, Amber Lake, there. We have learned that we have 2 more crews headed this way. We have a crew headed to the school, and we also have a crew heading to that staging center where parents are being asked to go to.
This brings back so many difficult memories for so many parents, current and former, of Winston-Salem Forsyth County schools. Before this budget crisis that happened recently, there was a safety crisis at the district largely. There was an incident at Mount Tabor High School back in 2021. We remember it vividly. It happened around this time of day, and a student died in that situation. There was an incident a couple years later at Forsyth Tech, also around this time of day, when a group of Winston-Salem Forsyth County students was at Forsyth Tech when a gun went off. So there is a lot of emotion and a lot of demand for safety in schools in Winston-Salem Forsyth County schools. And that's not to say these conversations aren't happening, because they are. There's open dialogue with the sheriff's office and with the police department.
One of the things that
Wow, this is crazy. I agree 100%. I've always said on this channel, we should be protecting our citizens and our children at the schools, grocery stores. Yeah, I mean, you can't even take a walk outside. Now, it looks like that the school is like gated. It's got a gate in the front, which is a great idea to keep people out once school's in session. Them gates should lock, and you need authority or a pass or whatever to get on that property. So that's a good idea, but do they have high school police on scene? Probably not. Maybe, I don't know, security or something. I don't know. Metal detectors and stuff like that. People are like, oh my God, this is the greatest country in the world. How, why are we doing, You're making it seem, well, we're trying to protect people. School is to go to learn, to be with your friends and learn and get taught something. It ain't a place for weapons and drugs and massive, it people can't understand it. Our freedom, that's the thing we're fighting, is freedoms. you know but you have to make a decision. You gonna give up some freedoms for the safety of our society? I think I would give up a couple. I mean, I don't need 50,000 guns, and I don't know, everyone's different.
Police chief for Winston-Salem Police, he has been saying on and on again is, parents, we need to know where our children are.
Yep.
And then they were even saying that in certain situations, parents would face consequences if their child were to get in any type of danger. So there have been these conversations of how can we work together as a community, work with the school system, and work with law enforcement to keep our students safe, because this is not what school is about. It's going to get your education, learn, do your homework, not get off the bus and something chaotic happen. It's, I mean, a parent, a family's worst nightmare.
I've had many conversations with Forsyth County Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough Jr., who is a father of 7 sons, and he has also taken on a mentorship role with many students in this community, working on accountability, respect, responsibility, being a well-rounded person. Again, it's unclear, unconfirmed at least, whether this situation involved one or multiple students involved, if the perpetrator is a student, and if that person is under arrest. There does not appear to be anything urgent from this vantage point to what we're seeing. And we have seen in the past situations where you see people running from the scene. You have helicopters overhead. We're not seeing any of that, which signals to me this might be contained.
We haven't really seen any type of road closures. We've seen, even in our live picture here and during our talkbacks with Amber, cars going back and forth. And we saw that group of students walking out of the building,
one dead,
casually even into the parking lot where law enforcement was. It looked like they might have been answering some questions, but it does seem that this appears to be contained. Again, for anyone watching that's just now joining in, the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office has confirmed with us that there was a stabbing at North Forsyth High School. Right now, details are very, very limited. We're working to find out how many people were involved, if there were any injuries, and the extent of those injuries. But
Mr. Valdez, I have no idea what Mr. Simmons feels about this stabbing. No idea right now. Hopefully he gives his opinion. But on this situation, this is a very serious topic. Our children, our schools, it's not 1950 anymore. It's not 1980 where we all grew up going to school. There were fights, but no weapons, no drugs, people dying, ODing or whatever, no rapes in school. The whole world has changed. And it's to the point where you need security. You have to send your kids into a school, lock it down, and for the 7 hours or whatever, how long they're there, they learn school, sports, music, history, whatever. This is becoming a third world, folks. It ain't the greatest thing in the world anymore. Mr. Valdez, you got a good point, and we're going to have to ask Mr. Simmons what he thinks. Gene Simmons sells Kiss knives. This is unbelievable. Is there anything that Mr. Simmons don't make with the Kiss name on it? I don't even want to get into this. I see a bunch of hilarious stuff here that I can feed off of, but I'm not going to right now. This is a serious situation.
If you are a parent watching and you're trying to get in contact with your child, you are being asked to go to the administrative center, and that is at 475 Corporate Square Drive. We'll continue to pop that address up on the screen throughout our report.
Yeah, and to me, it looks like there is at least a shelter in place. We have not seen a large number of students leaving the building at this point. We know EMS is there. You could see Police and sheriff's deputies are there. Typically in these situations, Highway Patrol gets on scene at least to work traffic. We saw that there were law enforcement vehicles blocking the main streets around the school. There were a few parents in that general area, or they could have been neighbors in this area, because that parent staging area, again, is not at the school. It is at that other administrative building we've referred you to already today. It is unclear, though, when your student, if you're watching this now on your mobile device as you're at that staging area, it is unclear if or when your student will.
All right, so we are continuing to follow this breaking news out of Winston-Salem, North Forsyth High School, where the sheriff's office there confirming there was a stabbing. So we are actually set to hear from a parent. Again, there's not a lot of information on what actually happened, what led up to this, but let's listen in. Do you hear anything, James, so far? Okay, let's listen in to this parent of a student there at North Forsyth High School.
Energy bill dropped from $150 to $50 by doing this. My friends laughed at me when I spent $49 on a power saver device that could cut my energy bill in half. They thought I got scammed. But when I showed them my super low energy bill, they were blown away.
Check that out. This is our current energy bill.
You feel knowing that there's a lockdown, knowing that your daughter's safe, but that this happened. Okay. And considering that you have experience with the neighbor as well, that's also really important. Okay? All right. I'm gonna take care of you, I promise. Okay. Can you all hear me?
All right, so it looks like they're getting ready for that interview. But in the meantime, just if you're not familiar with North Forsyth High School. So North Forsyth High School, again, is in the Winston-Salem Forsyth County school system. It's in Winston-Salem. And it is a magnet school program there, and enrolls and educates approximately, and this is according to the website, about 1,000 students per year from grades 9 through 12. Pretty robust when you're talking about community, their school community there. Grew up about 20 minutes, 30 minutes from North Forsyth High School. Again, a pretty robust school. So this is a map of where North Forsyth exactly is. So I grew up in High Point. So it's about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on which way you go, traffic, those sorts of things. But again, a stabbing there. Forsyth County Sheriff's Office confirmed there was a stabbing there at North Forsyth High School. EMS is there. We've seen them leave, but it looks like they went around to another entrance.
I think the
apparently.
good news is we haven't seen any ambulances leave quickly.
Yeah, I should know that.
Kind of just standing by.
And one of the reporters on scene said she heard, parents yelling in the background. This is sort of where she was in her live shot. And obviously parents are frustrated, when it comes to their children. They're
want to
know
for information, just like the rest of us are.
Yeah. And they are, so right now there's a staging area for parents nearby the school. Again, we are waiting for more information. We've been checking the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office page. I've checked Winston-Salem Police, also the Winston-Salem Forsyth County School Systems Facebook page and social media accounts to get whatever updates that we can. We do know, again, an investigation continues, is underway. Again, there's a law enforcement presence there. All right. So again, we are waiting to hear from a parent of a student there. Let's take a listen in.
Who lives actually right across the street from North Forsyth High School. Everett, thank you for taking a couple minutes to speak with me. Your daughter goes here, right?
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about your daughter.
My daughter attends here at North Forsyth. This morning I was dropping her off at school. Wasn't aware of what was going on when I dropped her off. By the time I got home, I got a text saying that the school was on lockdown, but the kids were okay. So they were handling the situation, whatever was going on at the school.
I mean, it was practically as soon as you dropped her off that you got that text.
Yes, like literally she was walking in the building when I got the text.
I mean, what went through your mind when that text message first came through to you?
I thought it was a joke at first, not really knowing, like, okay, this is not true. It didn't look like any chaos that was going on when I dropped her off. But come to find out, they do have a situation going on at the school. So at the end of the day, as long as she's safe, I'm good.
So she's safe, but she's still on campus as of right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard anything about when you might be able to go pick her up and bring her home?
No, not yet.
Okay. I mean, what goes through your mind as a parent in a situation like this?
Having gone through the situation before at Mount Tabor a few years ago, my 2 older kids were there when that went down. So kind of a little worried, but the situation to be taken care of, so everything should be fine.
No. And I guess, what is your biggest hope right now going through all this?
Parents and kids are safe. Everybody get home safe at the end of the day.
Everett, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. And so, Lindsay, what we can also tell you right now is that the police cars that were here earlier, Everett, you can step out of frame right here. Thank you. The police cars that were actually out here earlier, some of them have actually just left, but they're still blocking this part of the driveway off. We've seen cars actually on both sides of the road here in both directions, lining up one after the other, some stopping slow to, as we've been saying for a good portion of the morning, to ask questions, wondering what's going on. Some of them actually seem to be bus drivers asking where they can go. I have overheard some of those conversations, and some of them, like this one right here in front of you, are actually going up. We don't know all the details there, but again, still a very heavy police presence here, and we'll continue to get you updates as we get them on air and online. But for now, along Shadowlawn Drive at North Forsyth High School, I'm Joshua Davis for Next.
Well, great job, Joshua. Now, let me see my chat. Valdez says you can get your Kiss knives on sale. That's great. That's great, Christopher. That's great. Debbie Fox says, school is scary, homeschooled. My last kid, I couldn't handle the crap that goes on in public schools. I thought public schools were great, Miss Debbie Fox. I had a blast in school, even though I was an idiot. Had brain problems. School was great. Sports were great. Going to school, learning stuff. The high school dances, them were cool, right? Getting all dressed up, prom and everything, suits and everything, dressed to kill. I had a blast in high school. I know a lot of people hated me. I had problems as an idiot. Couldn't handle stuff, But I liked public school. Let me see what else Miss Debbie Fox said. Because my middle child is fast pitch softball girl. Wow. Miss Fox also says, I always was in trouble with my girls for not participating in PE. That would be gym, right? When we went to school, you took gym. Let me see. Miss Fox says, we did, Johnny, but we were a different generation. We sure were, little lady. We sure were. We should be thanking God we grew up when we did. That was freedom. I would have to say between like the 1950s through the 80s, that was the American freedom dream, right? We went to school. There wasn't murders. There wasn't a bunch of death gangs and all that, rape and all that. There was none of that. It didn't happen in my high school that I knew of. But I had a blast. And I went to school with some great, incredible, beautiful ladies. Well, at them, we were all just teenagers. But, yeah, there you go. So stabbing. Let's see what else is left here.
I-12 News.
So,
King of Seven.
Again, as you heard there, man, a scary time for parents. Let's head over to our content partners at WFMY. Amber Lake, the reporter there on scene, is describing what's happening right now. Let's take a listen in.
And a lot of people have a lot of questions as to what happened here at North Forsyth High School today. You can see this gate here to the entrance of the high school is completely blocked off by law enforcement. Nobody is able to go in. They have let a few cars out, but most of the parents that are out here right now are on the other side of this road just waiting for answers.
So, Amber, is it confirmed that the school is still on a shelter in place or a lockdown setup? Do we know when these students might be dismissed to their parents at this to be determined waiting area?
We still don't know. I mean, the district hasn't told us one or the other. Like I said, we've seen some cars pulling out of here, but it's not a significant amount of cars like you would see if a school was released fully.
And in this news conference, Amber, you said this would be in the next half hour or the next hour where we'll be able to get some more concrete details and information.
Yes, the district said within the next hour or so, we will be having a press conference to hopefully learn more information. I'm sure we'll be bringing it to you live as well on our WFNYnews2.com. But I mean, we have so many questions, right? But what we do have confirmed right now is that the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office said there was a stabbing. We've talked a couple different times over the last hour. I did speak with a parent who said that her son texted her this morning and confirmed that there was a stabbing on campus. He said that he knew the person that was involved. Obviously, we're waiting for law enforcement to confirm that. But I mean, these parents out here today, they're scared. They have a lot of questions. They are upset. We've seen so many parents just collapsing to the ground, crying, holding each other, and just embracing each other during this time.
Amber, we mentioned earlier some of the safety protocols in place.
Little Miss Debbie Fox in my chat said she got called Little Orphan Annie because of her red hair. So your whole life you went through being made fun of like me. I was made fun of my whole life too, but it's just horrible you had to go through that. You should be getting royalties from Orphan Annie.
In Winston-Salem, Forsyth County Schools, since 2 other incidents happened in the last 5 years. Are you aware of whether there was an SRO on campus today or whether the metal detectors were in place?
I am not, but that will definitely be a question that we asked during that press conference. But it's interesting that you mentioned that because the parent that I talked to earlier, that mom, she was very curious about the same thing. She said if the metal detectors were working, if they were able to catch something like this, a weapon of some sort, would this incident have happened? Probably not.
The parent that you spoke to, she told you that her...
That's true. If they had metal detectors that were working, it might not have happened. They might have caught it. But here's the thing. There's other exits and entries into the school. So you would have to lock down them entries. No one in. And you would have to move the masses to one area and funnel them in to the metal detectors. And they're not going to school unless they go through that metal detector. There are ways to do it. Can it be done? Yes. But we would have people out there saying, this is an infringement on our rights and our children. You know, it's a catch-22 is what we're dealing with. Miss Fox says, because of her red hair, she was made fun of. About an hour or 2 minutes from here, that high school is, what do you mean? The high school where this happened is by you, Debbie? Is that what you're saying? Or you mean the high school you went to is 2 minutes away from your house?
Child knew who all was involved, may have seen anything. Did they give you any information of what might have led up to this incident?
She did not. My conversation with her was very brief. She was very emotional. She was just happy that her son was okay. It is hitting really close to home for her because her son knew one of the people involved. Of course, again, and I want to reiterate, we do not have this confirmed with law enforcement. So even though I'm telling you what this mother told me, we do not have this information confirmed with law enforcement. But she said that her son, knew the person involved and knew the extent of those injuries. But again, I don't want to get into that right now until we have that situation confirmed as well.
So just for folks who are now tuning in, the nature of the situation we've confirmed is a stabbing. Is there an ongoing threat? We don't hear helicopters above you. We don't see anyone appearing to run from any sort of a threat that's presenting itself on campus. Does it appear to you that this is contained?
It does. We've been in situations. Unfortunately, we've been in situations like this before where there has been an active threat, but it doesn't seem that way right now. Of course, I don't want to make assumptions just standing out here, but typically in situations where there is an active threat, we, the media, are ushered into a specific area, and there are a lot more law enforcement presence on scene, but it doesn't seem that way right now. Again, I don't want to make assumptions, but it seems like the law enforcement on scene right now are just kind of standing around and waiting. They're making sure that traffic is flowing through here smoothly, and they're allowing parents to again stand on the other side of the road and just wait for those answers to come.
We see a lot of law.
Well, Miss Fox, you might want to lock your doors because we don't know if they have the suspect in custody or not yet. I mean, this happened that fast. You were shocked when I said, I'm going live. There's just happened, a stabbing just happened. So you're saying this is right down the street from you, 2 minutes away. So you might want to lock your doors. You don't want them to be tracked. They might be, we don't know if they got the person that's done the stabbing. He might have split. We don't know. We'll find out here shortly, but this is almost over with.
Enforcement on scene, first responders. Have you seen an ambulance or EMS in the area maybe take off?
We did. So actually, right after I talked to you earlier, we saw an ambulance pull up, and then I can imagine it went to the other side of the school, but we did see the ambulance pull down the road on the other side of this road after the fact. So that's the extent of that. And we did hear sirens in the area, but we didn't see an active ambulance with lights and sirens coming down this road.
So seeing what?
Miss Fox said an hour and 20 minutes. I'm sorry, Miss Fox. I read it wrong. I thought you said a couple minutes. About an hour and 2 minutes away. All right, my apologies. Didn't see it. So Miss Debbie Fox is about an hour and 20 minutes away from where this is happening. She's our boots on the ground. What do you see, Miss Fox? Lock your doors because this guy could have took off, been on the run, and he might be looking for a little place to shack up and hide out. So be safe.
One ambulance would signify to me that this might not be a mass casualty situation. We've not heard from Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist. We've not heard from Novant Health that they're triaging a large number of people. So it appears at this point, we don't want to make assumptions, but this would suggest, based on the evidence and what we've seen, that this involved maybe one or two people and not multiple people, right? Is that what you're gathering?
It is. And, based off of the families that are on scene and that were on scene over the past hour and a half, it seems like it's maybe one or two families that have been upset, significantly upset with this situation. But again, of course, when we go to that press conference within the next hour, we'll be able to learn more about that.
All right. Thank you, Amber. We know that you are working to gather information, so we'll let you go and we'll check in with you again in just a few minutes. So to recap here, students were on a delay today at North Forsyth High School. When they got to school on that delay, something happened. That something we have since confirmed through the sheriff's office was a stabbing. Working to answer your questions. Who was stabbed? How many students were stabbed? Is there a suspect in custody? Were both the suspect and the persons or people stabbed students at this school?
All right, so that is continuing coverage of that stabbing at North Forsyth High School in Winston-Salem. So we're expecting a press conference shortly there, according to our content partners there in the High Point, Greensboro, Winston-Salem area. So again, this is a live look at the scene. You see an ambulance slowly making its way through campus. Again, a lot of questions. We're still waiting to get more details from the school district, the sheriff's office there, also Winston-Salem Police. And as soon as we get that press conference, we'll take you there live, and we'll continue to monitor the situation here in Winston-Salem at North Forsyth High School. Again, the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office confirming there was a stabbing at North Forsyth High School. Again, a lot of questions, and we are continuing to get answers and look for answers there.
Do not get a consolidation loan until you see this. Hey, Mario Lopez here, and if you're thinking about getting a consolidation loan to combine your credit card debts or your personal loan debts into one, then there are 3 things that you should know.
All right, there you go, folks. There's going to be a press release, so we might come back with the press release, but so far, one stabbed. We don't know if they have the person yet. I might have missed it and not heard, but we're not sure what happened, if they have the culprit that did it, if he's on the lam. Lock your doors in that area, just in case. Press release coming up here soon, so we'll have to figure out what's going on with that. Is there anything anyone else wants to say? Miss Debbie Fox says, no, I said about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Okay. Valdez came in. He's asking, where do you live, Debbie? Debbie says, North Carolina, Christopher. So there you guys go. A match made in matches. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just making content. But Debbie, thank you for all your questions and telling us why. What kind of life you went through, right? I read your comment, Orphan Annie, because you had red hair. I feel for you, little lady. I feel for you. Did you ever dye your hair or try dyeing it a different color maybe or something? Ever throughout your whole life, or did you always just have it red hair? I don't know. That'll be another video. You can let us know what happened throughout your life. And we will be back, folks, once I figure out where we can find this press release. Keep your doors locked. And I do agree with the rest of the civilians and citizens. It's time to security. It's time to invest in security within our neighborhoods, our country, our schools, our supermarkets, food, Walmart. It's just, we're sitting ducks. We're sitting ducks. How is this happening? I have no idea. We need drones. We need drones flying around over the schools as the kids are in school, maybe possibly armed with stun guns or whatever. Maybe we could do that. Drones with stun guns and maybe shoot ball bearings instead of bullets at unwanted visitors or something. We have to do something. It's just getting too crazy. You folks have a great day. Debbie says she's never been in Salem. Was that where the witch things were, or the movie was made? Salem's Lot. That was a great movie. Salem's Lot was a scary movie. It was pretty good. I don't know about the Salem's Witch Hunt or whatever. That wasn't cool, but that Salem's Lot movie that was done, was it Stephen King or somebody? Somebody did that movie. It was a great movie. It had the vampire in it. Hair salon. Oh, is it a hair salon? Oh, you never been to a salon? I thought you meant Salem Lot. I gotta put my glasses on, little Deb. That's what she's saying. I don't even have registered glasses. I just went to the store and put a pair on where I could read something on a piece of paper or something. So many people trespassing on me and switching lives or sending eye magic on me or something. I don't know. It's crazy. All right, you folks have a great day. I'll be back with more content. Let's find out when the press release is on this. Have a great day. God bless. Talk to you later.